Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I want to ask you a question. If you lost access to your bank accounts right now, how long do you think you would survive? You might have some cash on you, you could rely on that for a brief amount of time. But after that, what really do you have? Perhaps you could ask your boss, if you're making money, to send you payment in cash. If you could do that, how long do you think you would be able to last? What about paying for large items? What about sending money abroad? What if you want to purchase something online? Living without a bank account in the modern day and age, very unfortunately, is almost akin to a death sentence. I know someone who in the P2P cryptocurrency trading community in her country was essentially banned from all banks. She actually got essentially blacklisted from the few hundred providers in that country. And she basically has to live almost like a drug dealer now. It's really a crazy thing for someone to be living like that in the modern day and age. And especially as they're trying to phase out cash more and more, it's extremely difficult to live without a bank. That means you can't get a loan. That means you can't even save large amounts of money because just storing huge amounts of cash under your mattress is not feasible. Even if you could have you could use cash for everyday purchases, which you probably can't do for very long. How can you save large amounts of money? And then how can you send that to various places? How can you pay people back? Life in the modern day and age has been made to be intentionally uncomfortable unless you've given your funds away to some kind of custodian that manages your funds. But if you're in any way involved in cryptocurrency, you understand perfectly well that those that manage your funds are essentially misappropriating your funds to give essentially uncollateralized loan to the bank, who loans it out and doesn't even really give you any interest. So it's a very predatory system, and you've been made to entrust all of your money to them whilst getting nothing in return, and whilst you help inflate the already bloated financial system, this financial Ponzi scheme that we live in. So the question then becomes, for your average free-thinking individual, is it actually possible to live without a bank in this day and age? Well, I think the best chance that we had, it started in 2009 when Bitcoin was created, which is supposed to be a parallel financial system in which one could make peer-to-peer payments to another person using this currency, which had a capped supply when the final Bitcoin would be mined, at that time, 20 years later. And it seemed like a perfect system, but there were flaws in that system. And I talk about some of these flaws in my video on the pros and cons of Bitcoin maxing. One of the problems with Bitcoin is that the transactions are slow, they're expensive. So if you wanted to just put all your money in Bitcoin, going to the shops and buying something Bitcoin is unfeasible. Not necessarily because people don't like Bitcoin or don't even know about Bitcoin, which is not the case. Most people know about Bitcoin. It just isn't feasible for the person sending it and the person receiving it, because they're going to have to sit there and wait for an hour, perhaps more. You don't know what the fees are going to be like that day. It changes on a day-to-day basis. And what if you want to buy something that's $5? Well, the transaction fees, if you're lucky, are going to be $5. So Bitcoin has had this problem with actually being able to supplant the utility of normal financial practices. However, I believe as someone that's been heavily involved in peer-to-peer trading for a good while now, I would say that those concerns are now mostly alleviated. And if you want to use cryptocurrency for practical purposes, like just buying and selling things, sending funds somewhere, saving your money, you can actually do all these things right now. I'm going to tell you how to do it. But first, if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I give daily updates on how to debank and how to simplify your life by removing centralized financial institutions from reducing your reliance on them. That's basically what my channel is about. Debanking. My name is Debank Dave, and this is what I talk about. So how I learned about all these things, to give you my origin story, is that during COVID, I was originally in China. Then I came back to my home country of Australia, only to find that the COVID lockdown measures were almost as draconian as China's. Now, China was on a whole other level. I don't want to say that it was totally the same. People were starving to death in their houses in Shanghai, where I was living. But in Australia, it was still second. It doesn't mean that it was near equal to China, but it was still second. You know, maybe Canada was a close third after Australia. But it really awakened my eyes to see how we don't actually live in a free country like I thought I was. And my goal during the pandemic was to basically live off the grid. And I found a place that would be as far off the grid as possible, and that was a very small country in the Caribbean. I'm not going to name the country that I was in because I don't want to dox myself, because it's such a small country. People would just be able to point at me and say, oh, that's the guy, you know, everyone knows that guy. So, but I lived in an extremely small place, and there wasn't really a whole lot of stable infrastructure there. To be honest, it was a banana republic, to put it politely. And at that time, you know, there were a number of banks that were shutting down, and you still relied on cash to get around and do things. But like in a number of banana republics, you had to line up at the bank in the morning, otherwise the cash would run out by a certain time. And there was this overarching fear that I had that in this country, the banks would shut down and I would lose my ability to pay for normal things. I needed food, medicine, rent, things like that. And it was always in the back of my mind that things could just go belly up financially, right? And I'm heavily involved in cryptocurrency, so most of my money is in crypto. And what if I lost the ability to turn my funds, my crypto funds, into fiat and then fiat into stuff? Well, I'd be really screwed. Well, I was already the mindset of someone that was essentially doomsday prepping, because I was basically living out in the mountains. I was very far from civilization, more or less. I was very much focused on just simplifying my life and being close to where my food was created. So I was doing farming. I was close to a water source. If I needed, I still drank out of a tap, but it was also cool knowing that there was a freshwater river that was completely unpolluted and felt untouched, more or less, right behind my backyard. I could even go in there to take a shower. And I was very close to the people that I knew in my little village, and I had a very self-sustaining life. But the problem of whether or not I could have access to my own money was really concerning to me, because I didn't realize to the degree that I was reliant on banks. If there was a problem with the banks, then I wouldn't be able to get my money out and I'd be screwed. And I was really stuck on this island because I didn't want to go back to Australia, I didn't want to go back to China where I was living before, because of all the problems that were going on during COVID. I didn't want to have to go through it, you know. I was against all these things, so I was there to stay. So I needed to construct a way in which I could turn my crypto funds into stuff, right? Not even into money. Maybe I could do that, but the big thing is, how can I turn it into stuff? Because that's what I need. I need to eat things. I need to live in places. So this is when I was already into P2P cryptocurrency trading for a while, but I happened upon an epiphany at that stage where I realized what I knew before in P2P cryptocurrency trading is that you can sell cryptocurrency for almost any payment method that you could possibly imagine. There are people right now in various cities around the world that are meeting in back alleys to trade Monero, almost like they were doing, like they were selling something else, right? They meet up in the back alley, they meet on some website like Local Monero back in the day when it wasn't banned. Two people would just meet in the back alley and they'll trade Monero with each other, right? These kinds of deals were happening. There's people on local forums that sell gold to each other. And one of the things that I learned was there was another market that I found very fascinating, and that was the gift card market. And this would be my foray into the world of cryptocurrency for the purposes of real utility beyond just doing it to arbitrage and make a bit of money, or have a more convenient way of onboarding my fiat into crypto. So what I would do with these gift cards was I'd sell my Bitcoin for Amazon gift cards. Then I would redeem those Amazon gift cards on Amazon.com, and then I would buy things from Amazon. And you can buy anything you want from Amazon. You can buy your groceries from Amazon even. And then I would send those things to the country that I was living in. And if you're curious, because obviously there's high shipping costs because I was in another country, I was able to make like a spread on selling my crypto for Amazon gift cards, because as I don't want to get too lost in the reads here, but as I've discussed in the videos, the reason why you can sell your Bitcoin at a premium for gift cards is just because cryptocurrency has more utility than gift cards, which have limited utility. So you could make like up to 30% above market rate selling your Bitcoin for Amazon gift cards, right? But I don't want to get too lost in that. I want to focus on the point that I've established here. The point is that I could turn my Bitcoin into food. So one of the first things I did was I bought canned sardines like in bulk and then had them sent to me. And I essentially was able to buy things from Amazon, buy real life goods with Bitcoin. And this is a really big epiphany to me because for many years, up until even till now, everyone is still talking about when is adoption going to happen? When are you going to be able to buy anything you want with cryptocurrency? And it's kind of been like this kind of prophecy of Satoshi that has, long ago the ancients told us one day we'd be able to buy things with Bitcoin, and we're waiting for that day to happen. And when that day happens, Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million. But it's such a dated point of view because you can actually do this already using this method. But there's also a number of other ways to do it. If you're really motivated to use your cryptocurrency for real life things, buying and selling, things like that, you can do it already. And it's not actually as inconvenient as you'd think. So another thing, as an example, is when I'm in China, I will be selling my Bitcoin for Alipay funds or WeChat Pay funds. Now, granted, I wouldn't call that totally debanking because those things are tied to a bank account and whatnot. But it's something that I can rely on a bit more. So because in any country, there's always going to be Chinese people, and I always have the ability to just get some quick Alipay funds or WeChat Pay funds. And again, maybe you could say this is like an additional layer on top of the banking system. So it's not totally debanked, but it's just an idea to give you, right? Another thing you can do that I've learned is I'll sell my Bitcoin for PayPal funds so that I can use my PayPal funds to buy things online. Again, you might say that's a similar situation to WeChat Pay and Alipay. It's like a layer on top of the banking system, right? But then there's also other things as well, like you can buy Visa, kind of prepaid credit card gift cards where there's like $100 loaded onto it. You can buy these with Bitcoin, and these things are essentially anonymous, right? Because you're not using a debit card or anything like that to purchase it. You could even use Monero to buy these prepaid gift cards, and you can use them to purchase things online. Maybe you could use it to purchase things on, you could use it in real life. And I've also seen a number of other things as well that's been really amazing as I've been really steeped into the world of P2P trading. And that's all the other kinds of utilities. So another thing I learned was how you can buy and sell Bitcoin with airline tickets, right? So one thing I had the pleasure of doing was I was going on a flight from New Jersey to California, and if I was given the option, if I foregoed my flight and it waited like another couple of hours, I'd get like $1,000 in Delta Airline gift cards. And I didn't need that at the time, so I just sold it to somebody else for cryptocurrency on a P2P cryptocurrency exchange, right? That's really neat. And there's a number of other people doing the same thing. So there's people who have like an airline gift card voucher, or maybe they bought a ticket and they don't want to use it anymore, and they're just going to sell it to someone for Bitcoin. I've even also seen situations where there's people that want someone to pay for like a utility bill or something, right? So someone's got like $200 of like a gas or like electricity bill or something like that. They post in like on a P2P cryptocurrency exchange like Noons or something like that. They will say that they're selling Bitcoin in exchange for utility bill payment. So someone will open a trade with them, and they will pay for this person, the person who's selling the Bitcoin. They'll pay for that person's utility bill, and then they'll receive the Bitcoin. And there's a number of reasons why people get involved in this, but there's little ecosystems that have popped up because of the potential for making money and arbitraging, right? So because there's different ways to make, so many different ways to make money in peer-to-peer trading, it's created liquidity and all these little different niche payment methods well beyond just say bank transfers or Revolut. Like I'm talking like there's people out there that will buy Amazon items for you in exchange for Bitcoin, right? So their way of buying Bitcoin is they'll purchase Amazon items for you. And that's got its own little niche that requires a lot of explanation as to why that ecosystem even exists. But as P2P cryptocurrency exchanges proliferate and as there are more and more established sellers with their own unique ecosystems, the more liquidity is actually in these places, allowing the average person to go into them and actually buy or sell Bitcoin using these payment methods. So for the average person who is interested in whether or not you can debank, the biggest thing that is important to you, the first thing you need to know is that you can buy food with Bitcoin. And the reason why I mention food is because that is the staple item that everyone can relate to, and is the thing that of all the things that has the most utility. Everyone can use it, everyone needs to use it multiple times a day. It's a thing that you're probably going to be spending most of your money on, or maybe not most of your money unless you're in some crappy country that's in some kind of 10-year drought. But the point is, if you want to buy food, you can do it. So as the example that I mentioned is, if you want to use your Bitcoin to buy food, you go into a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange like Noons, referral link in the description down below. You can use Noons or another one called CoinCola, also a referral link for that in the description down below. You sell your Bitcoin for Amazon gift cards. You load the Amazon gift card into Amazon, then you buy food. You have it sent to your door. You use Prime shipping or whatever, right? That's one thing you can do. Maybe you go into Noons, or maybe you go into some other exchange or something like that. You want someone to pay for your utility bills, right? That's one way of doing it. And if you want to take this to like a further extreme, you want to scale this up beyond just little things like food and you know, a couple $100 to pay for your utility bill. The most recent video that I made was one called, let me pull it up. I need to get the name for it because I actually really want you to watch it. But it was about doing something called third-party payment. And third-party payment is a way of you receiving crypto in exchange for someone else paying a third party on your behalf. Okay, the video is called "Use this trick to receive any fiat payment as Monero anonymously." I should have said any cryptocurrency, right? But the idea behind that was, let's just say you've got a boss. He's a boomer. He doesn't know what cryptocurrency is, and you're like me. You want to be like me, debank Dave. And you don't want to own you don't want to own any bank account. You just want to live in Bitcoin. You're going to receive your money in Bitcoin. You're going to take your Bitcoin and you're going to sell it for Amazon gift cards. Just say, for example, right? How are you going to reconcile the difference between these two? He wants to send you fiat via bank transfer. You don't want to accept it. You just want to accept Bitcoin or Monero or whatever, Dogecoin, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to employ a third party on a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange. This guy is going to accept, it could be any payment method. Maybe it's like TransferWise or something like that. What you're going to do is you're going to first use my referral link in the description down below for like local coin swap, Noons, whatever. You're going to find a seller that you like with very optimal terms and conditions for the trade. You're going to open a trade with this person, right? And he's going to send you the payment details, right? So let's just say if it's a bank, right? He's got bank details. He's going to send it to you. It's a BSB and account number. Maybe it's TransferWise. He's going to send you his email or mobile number that it's attached to that Wise. And now he's expecting payment. So you've opened up a trade with him for like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and he sent you the payment details. You then send those payment details to Bob. Bob, I mean, ideally you want to tell this person about what you're doing, just so there's no bad will or anything like that. You're not supposed to be tricking anyone. First, if you're curious, you know, you can, if you just want to play on the safe side, let each of the parties know what you're doing. You know, just to play on the safe side, right? So there's nothing dodgy going on. You let them know. You let the third party know that he's going to receive payment from somebody else, not you, and you let Bob know that you're sending payment to someone else on your behalf, right? So you let Bob know, Bob, to send my monthly salary or my weekly salary, send payment to XYZ person. Then Bob sends it to this person. This person receives those funds. and then he releases the crypto funds that are in escrow out to you, allowing you to get paid in cryptocurrency without you even owning a bank account. So you were actually able to receive fiat funds as crypto, right? Then you can then use your crypto to do all the previously mentioned things. Use it to buy food, pay for services, airline tickets, prepaid debit/credit cards, whatever you want. And also, just on a final note about gift cards, I just want to note anything that you want to buy can be purchased with a gift card, because anything you want to buy can be purchased online, and anything that can be purchased online, whether it's like one particular store's gift card or maybe it's like one of those gift card packages, is a way of purchasing it with a gift card, right? Whether that's Amazon gift cards, a Visa debit gift card, or like a gift card that's unique to that online store that you want to purchase from, you can do it. So the answer is using this the strategies that I teach you in this channel. I believe that you actually can live without a bank. Now, if you want to play it on a much higher level, I think it is more difficult. I think there is a scaling issue to these kinds of strategies. If you want to totally debank and you want to do it with things with like hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of dollars, there are ways you can do it, but it requires you would have to build up a lot of connections and also ideally be in places in which these kinds of transactions can be done on a where you can do it safely. So you pretty much want to live in Dubai. I can't really think of many other places where you could comfortably do these kinds of things, but that's neither here or there. On a basic level, you can debank. And I really recommend all of you do this right now. I think it's a necessity. I think every person who has cryptocurrency should be using it for the utility that it was made for, rather than purely for speculation, which is what everyone's doing. Even Bitcoin maxis, because Bitcoin maxis don't even use their crypto for its original purposes. They're just hoarding it, right? So don't be a hoarder. Use your cryptocurrency so you can debank. Give a middle finger to the system, and I think your life is going to be better off. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you're interested in some of the peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges that I recommend, you can use my referral links in the description down below. The one that I mentioned where you can buy and sell crypto for all kinds of weird payment methods like gift cards, utility bill, airline tickets, whatever, that's one called Noons. You can also check out one called Coin Cola, which is a place where you can do prepaid Visa debit gift cards and also Amazon gift cards. And if you're just interested in P2P trading in general, you like no KYC, you like to use a non-custodial trading platform, you can use one called Local CoinSwap and one called HODL HODL. HODL HODL's like kind of for the more hardcore types that really are very serious about non-custodial trading and stuff like that. But again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.